Hey guys, so this is your warm-up for Thursday, October 14th. This is the last day of quarter one. So if you haven't already, grab your binders from the bookshelf and open up to your warm-ups page. Now, I expect to see when I come back that all four of these questions are done in your binder, because we reviewed how to add and subtract fractions with the same bottom at the beginning of the year. Now, for those of you that maybe weren't in our class at the beginning of the year or just forgot, we're going to review it today. So do your best from what you can remember. Write down all four questions of your warm-up, and then pause the video to attempt them, and then unpause it, and we will go through the answers. Okay. So you've had time, you should have been able to work through this now. To add and subtract our fractions when the bottoms are the same, those are the denominators, all you do is work with the tops. So if it's subtracting, I would subtract the tops, and if it's adding, I add the tops. So number one, we have 3/4 minus 1/4. Bottoms are the same, so I just work with the tops. 3 minus 1. Well, that equals 2. The bottom is 4, which means in our answer it stays 4. So you should have gotten 2/4 as your final answer. Number 2, we were adding on this one, but the bottoms are the same, which is good. That means all you do is add the tops. 2 plus 2 is 4. Over, the bottom stays the same, so it stays a 3. Well, that's a special kind of fraction. 4/3. We've been spending a lot of time talking about this kind of fraction. 4/3 is an improper fraction because that top number is bigger than the bottom. Okay, number 3, we have 3/3 minus 2/3. Subtracting, and the bottoms are the same, so all I do is work with those tops. 3 minus 2 is 1 over 3 minus, the 3's stay the same, so you get a final answer of 1/3. Last one on your warm-up is 1/6 plus 4/6. Bottoms are the same, so you just work with your tops. 1 plus 4 is 5, and 6 stays exactly as it is. So your final answer should have been 5/6. Now, if you made any mistakes, just correct it. But I expect to see all four questions written down, and I'm going to check your binders when I get back, so make sure it's written down. Okay, now let's move on and let's talk about your lesson and the plan for the day. So today, even though I'm not here, you're just going to watch the lesson video. So we're going to do a lesson on section 2.6, so unit 2, lesson 6. And then after that, you guys have a worksheet. So you will be practicing what we're doing in our lesson. And then if you finish the lesson and the worksheet with time to spare, then you are on Prodigy. And then I will see you guys on Tuesday when you come back, because remember, you don't have school on Friday or Monday. So let's get started here with 2.6, our actual notes. So it should have been passed out to you, and it should look like this. So it has some boxes on it. It's only one page. So it should go pretty fast because we have reviewed this before. And Unit 2, Lesson 6 says adding and subtracting fractions with like denominators. Now, for those of you that were in our class at the beginning of the year, when we did this review, we didn't draw the pictures of what these fractions are. We will on this lesson. That way you just have a visual. But we won't draw them very much after this. So we did our warm-up where we know that when you add and subtract fractions, the denominators, which are the bottoms, have to be the same. And all you have to do is add the tops. So right off the bat, we can solve this question, part for example 1, 1/4 plus 1/4, and that gives us 2/4. So I know my answer needs to be 2/4. But example 1 says you need to draw your picture. Well, we have 3 boxes because there's 2 fractions in our problem and then an answer. So this first box will be our first fraction, second box will be our second fraction, and the third box is our answer. So in this first box, we're going to split it into the denominator, which is 4. So I'm going to make 4 boxes. I'm going to cut this. The top number tells you how much you need to shade. So since the top is 1, that means I'm going to shade in 1 box. In between the 2 fractions, there's a plus sign. So in between our 2 boxes, let's also add a plus sign because we're visually representing the problem. This is a visual of 1/4 plus we need to do a visual of 1/4 again. So I split my box into the denominator, which is 4 sections. I color the top, which is 1. So this is a representation of 1/4 plus 1/4, and it equals, well, we know it equals 2/4. So let's draw that. This is the bottom is our denominator, which tells us how many we need to have it cut. The top is the shading, so that's 2 boxes shaded in. Now, if I didn't know what to do, I could draw this out first. I would draw the 1/4 and 1/4, and then I would count how many total boxes got colored in, which was 2, and I would keep the amount that it got cut, so 4 sections, the same. And that's exactly what we have. Now let's go on to this next question that says 3/4 minus 1/4. This is a subtraction problem, so be careful. We have 3 boxes because we have 2 fractions in our problem, and we'll have to have an answer. Well, let's do a visual first before writing our answer. Let's visually draw in the first box what 3/4 is. This means the bottom is 4, so I need 4 sections. The top is 3, so I need to color in 3 of them. In between our boxes, we're going to put a subtraction sign because in the problem it was subtraction. And I'm going to show subtraction of 1/4. So visually what this means is that I have 4 sections because the denominator is 4, and I color in 1. Well, subtraction here means you start with the bigger amount you have colored, so 3 boxes, and I take away 1 box of color, which would leave me 2 boxes colored in. So when I visually draw my answer, which I forgot to draw an equal sign, I would still have it split into 4, but I would have only 2 boxes colored in. It does not matter where you actually colored your boxes as long as you have 2 of them. And now let's write this fraction. So 2 boxes was colored in, so that's the top of our fraction. And there was a total of 4 boxes in my picture. So our final answer is 2/4, which we could have also figured out just by looking at the original question. Okay, almost done. We have 2 more. Next one is 3/4 plus 3/4. Now let's actually do the problem first. Let's do the math first because I know we can do that. The bottoms are the same in our problem, so in our answer it stays the same, so it's going to stay a 4. And this is adding, so we add the tops. 3 plus 3 is 6. Well, 6/4, this is an improper fraction. Let's actually add that in. This is improper. We know improper fractions are big. Well, what it means is that we have more than 1 whole. So this is actually this will be a nice visual for us. Let's draw our first fraction in the first box, 3/4. So we split this into 4 sections, and I color in 3 boxes. Plus, because we're adding, another set of 3/4, so I need another box that has 4 total sections and 3 colored in. And this will equal, well, let's see. Let's count how many boxes total we have colored in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have to draw some kind of representation of 6 boxes colored in when they get split into 4s. Well, that sounds really weird. Well, let's start by splitting our next box into 4 sections. And let's start to color in as many as we can because we have to get to 6. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I just filled an entire square. This represents 1 whole. But I need more than that because I need 6 sections colored in. I've only colored in 4. That's why we have this extra box. This means we have to split it again into 4 sections and keep coloring in. So I needed 6. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to color in 2 more boxes. Now I have 6 total sections colored in while each box was originally cut into 4s. That is a visual representation of what 6/4 or an improper fraction looks like. Now let's go to our last one. 7/3 minus 5/3. Well, bottoms are the same, so we know we can keep them the same in our answer. Let's do that math first. So it stays a 3. And I just do the tops. So 7 minus 5 is 2. So visually, we're going to have to represent what our final answer of 2/3, but we have to kind of go back and talk about what 7/3 and 5/3 and how to visually represent that. So 7/3 and 5/3 are both of those fractions are improper. Well, okay, I think we can do this. I'm going to show you another way we can kind of cancel out, we can draw a subtraction fractions in pictures by canceling it out. So what I'm going to do first, I'm actually going to pause. I'm going to get something drawn first for you and save some time. So let me do this. Okay, so what I did so far is I know the bottoms of my fractions are 3s. So I just took the rectangles that we had and I just started to split them so they had 3 sections. Now, we don't have enough rectangles to draw everything. So this is why I'm going to show you a new method to visually show subtraction. Let's start with 7/3. Let's visually show that fraction. Well, the bottom is 3, the top is 7, meaning I need to color in 7 boxes. So let's start to do that. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So notice we took up 2 holes plus 1 extra sliver. Well, this is visually what 7/3 represents. It means I have little rectangles that are split into 3 sections, and I started to color in 7 of them. Well, that means you had to keep adding rectangles until you could color in 7 sections. And that's why we only had 3 of them. Well, now you might be wondering, well, how do we show that I'm taking away 5/3 without drawing another picture? Well, what we can do is cross off 5 of our colored in boxes. So we're going to draw an X through 5 of those boxes to show we started with 7. I'm going to cancel out, take away 5. So I'm going to start on the right end. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all I have left are 2 colored in boxes in a total rectangle of 3 sections. And that's our answer. That's what we came up with before, which was 2/3. Okay, 2 pieces of information here at the bottom. We do have a fill in the blank. It says when adding fractions and the denominators are the same, you add the numerators. When subtracting fractions and the denominators are the same, you subtract the numerators. Okay, make sure you get it all written down and get this piece of paper into your notes section. Now let me go back to our little agenda. This is what you're going to do next. You have to work on the worksheet that will also be passed out to you. And then if you finish that worksheet, you can go on to Prodigy. This worksheet, I need you to put into your binders. I'll give you a grade on it next week. So 2 things, worksheet on what we just did, and then work on Prodigy. I hope you guys enjoy your long weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday in quarter 2. Bye.